I'd like to go back to you, Jonathan. You were talking about your family and all of this. You got to spend time with them. You were bringing them on vacations.
Mhm.
How did you do that? And how are you helping other people to do that?
Well, I have a business that was providing, I'm not going to say passive income, yet it did provide an income to where I had people running it. I still
Mhm.
had to be there, still be involved. However, I didn't have to be there all the time. It had built up to a point to where people could run it and I could travel to the other side of the world with my family. And so they were still there making money while I was enjoying rooftop pools and gondolas with my family. And
So
that's
let
what
me
it's about.
say something here. You said it grew. Did the business really grow, or did you grow it? And did you have the courage to let go and trust other people? So many people want to start a business and they don't start a business, do they? They just buy themselves a job
They
that
start a
they
job.
can't
Yeah.
let go of.
That right there, Eric, was probably the most challenging part to the entire thing.
Yeah.
Ricardo and I were actually talking about something like this very similar earlier today.
Yeah.
About how passing the torch and letting someone else run it. That was hard. When the business first started growing to the point of where somebody else would need to be behind the wheel of the vehicle, I was always scared they're going to wreck it.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to wreck my vehicle that has all my equipment and I'm going to be out of business. That never happened. And then it's the thing of I'm afraid to bring other people in to run it because I have to teach them so much that they could go out and become my competition. That never happened. But those were always my concerns. And it's always a thing of I can do it better than someone else. Okay. Maybe because it's your baby. Understand that was my first child. My oldest child at this point is 19 years old. So that business was here before any of my children were. And it was my baby.
Interesting outlook. It was mine as well.
Yep. And to pass it off to somebody else and put them in charge of a 7-figure contract, well, a 6-figure contract at that time. It's like, you know what? You messed this up and I'm messed up.
Yes.
So to do that and allow other people to run it when you're 6 hours away or a 13-hour plane flight away, it's daunting. But you have to get to the point where you let go and you realize, number one, everything's fixable. Everything is fixable. Y'all work on houses. You get the house perfect. Somebody comes by and throws a rock in the window. Yeah, you might not be happy, but it's fixable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, is just knowing that it can be fixed, whatever it is. Now, that doesn't mean that you might not lose some jobs. You might not lose some contracts or some houses or whatever, but it's all fixable. There's somewhere else out there to pick up.
The richest people in the world, and especially the people that get to spend the most time with their family. Because, I mean, why else do we make money if it's not to get the things to buy us what we want the most? And what I want the most out of my life is time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this money buys me. Why would I trade 40, 50, 60 hours a week? Heck, 80 hours a week when I was starting out.
Yep.
But that was before I had kids. And I'm glad I put in that work then.
That's right.
Because it set us on the track for awesomeness later.
Right.
So,
right.
Devin, another problem that people have, and we'll get back to Ricardo in a second, is I don't want to train up my competition. That's what Jonathan said. Have you ever had a problem with the people that we train going out and becoming your competition? And if not, what is the major problem you have? Because you actually run the real estate brokerage. What is your biggest problem in hiring people?
Finding competent people, finding people with common sense has been finding people that want to work even.
Yep.
Seems like it's harder now than it was, but once again, that's just, I need to find a better way to do things. You can use things as an excuse, or you can find a way to turn them to your benefit. And then on the whole competition thing, sure, it's possible that someone could go out there and become your competition. And one, that is very unlikely. And it doesn't happen super often. And when it does, unless you're running a massive company and they go and start an equally massive one, there's plenty of people that you can rent things to, sell things to. There is abundance in the world. You just
and there
have
is so much construction work that needs done and so few skilled tradesmen that if I train up people and they spin off and have their own company, they always throw me jobs. And if they're a plumber, they might take all the plumbing jobs. And if I get behind on plumbing, I'll call and hire them. But they'll throw off the electrical work that they don't want to do or the roofing that they don't want to do to one of my companies.
Yep.
Right.
So as long as you leave on good terms,
right,
you got it made.